The ACT has been grappling with the euthanasia issue since 1995 rather, when Michael Moore introduced a bill into the Assembly to allow doctors to withdraw treatment at a patient's request. It was defeated. Then in 1997, a bill was introduced to modify the assisted suicide section of the Crimes Act, so the penalty would be no more than a fine. It too was defeated. In 2011, the ACT has one of the country's fastest growing ageing populations, and they're used to making decisions about their own lives. Susan McDougall is 68. She's a member of the ACT branch of Exit International. When she was seriously ill, she wanted the capacity to make the decisions about her death. Now that she's recovered, she hasn't changed her mind.
I think when they reach this time of their life, they're thinking about end-of-life options, and what we really want, everyone wants, is a peaceful, quick death, not a slow, lingering death.
Is that why it's so important to you? Is that a particular personal concern of yours?
Yes, I mean, it may never happen. I may just go of a heart attack or something, but it's also partly about control, choice and control. Although I've thought about nursing homes and palliative care, palliative care is an excellent service, but at the same time you don't have control over your own life, and I don't want to slip away gradually, becoming an incontinent vegetable, washed and bathed by other people, not being able to feed myself. I think there's a lack of dignity.
Is that one of the great fears that many people have, that they lose control of their life?
As adults, we're encouraged to be responsible and take control of our own lives and our own actions. But when it comes to death, people don't want to talk about that. There's a sort of denial, particularly in Western society. I think some other, say, Eastern religions are much more matter-of-fact about this.
Do you think that this is going to become a growing issue in our society as we have an ageing population?
I would think so. As they're ageing, they'll be interested and maybe want some more action with legislation.
Does the potential legislative change they're talking about in South Australia and Tasmania give people in the ACT who are advocates for euthanasia some hope?
I'm sure it does, but first we've got to, as a territory, we've got to be able to legislate for ourselves. It is annoying, yes, but that's why Exit exists, I suppose. People take things into their own hands if they don't have the legislation.
Could you tell me about Exit International and how it operates in Canberra?
We have an ACT chapter which meets about 3 times a year. Philip Nitschke also comes down and does workshops. It's mainly about support. I mean, we don't want to break the law, but if somebody gets to the point where they're going to decide it's time to take their life, they will need emotional support. And we discuss various things about what we can do legally to be helpful.
How long have you been involved with Exit International and the Canberra group?
I started in 2001. Actually, that was the year I was diagnosed with an autoimmune condition, and at the time I thought, I don't know what my life expectancy is, and I have to think about end-of-life plans.
If your quality of life were to deteriorate, do you have contingencies, or would you consider contingencies to try and remain in control? And do you think many people in the ACT have that idea?
Oh, yes, yes.
Is that a common thing, that people will find a way to remain in control at the end of their lives?
Yeah, well, certainly people in Exit, if they've been to the workshops, they know what to do, and they know where to look online, on the internet. They know what to do about it.
How do you respond to the moral and ethical arguments against euthanasia?
The moral ones, I suppose, the main moral one is God gives life and only God can take it away. Well, you have to believe in God to agree with that, and so you either believe it or you don't believe it.
How do you feel when people tell you what you're doing is wrong, what you're thinking about doing is immoral and unethical? Does it make you angry?
They haven't actually said that to me to my face, but it would annoy me. I mean, that if they don't want to make use of a voluntary euthanasia service, they don't have to, but they shouldn't force us not to if we want to.